Thinking of moving to Charlotte, but you're not quite sure which areas to move to? Watch this video and I'm going to describe the different areas of this great city. Hey everyone, Shane Gordon with eXp Realty here. I know firsthand how overwhelming it can be to make that decision on whether you're going to relocate or not, and if you've already made that decision, where do you go? So I've created these videos and hopefully they will help you in those decisions. If you do find that these videos are valuable to you, please subscribe below and click that bell as well so you can get notified of future videos. I do post videos once a week to help you in your decision making. So 16 years ago, I moved up here from South Florida with my beautiful wife. When we decided to make the move up to Charlotte, we were young, we were excited. We didn't really do the due diligence and research that we should have of the different areas of Charlotte. And that turned out to be a big mistake for us. So don't make the same mistake we did. Make sure you're learning about the different areas of the cities you're looking at. First, I'm going to talk about Charlotte, which is in Mecklenburg County. This is a huge area, so it's going to be impossible for me to talk to you about every little aspect of the area, but I'm going to do my best to give you as much information as possible today. So in Uptown, you have your apartments, your condos, and once you get a little bit outside of that area, you'll be getting closer to your Dilworth, your South End area, Noda area, where you have more of a craftsman style homes. These areas are all being revitalized and you will find yourself being able to walk to shops and restaurants and up into the city. You're that close. So if this is an area that interests you, there are a number of things that you can do in Uptown Charlotte. There's plenty of restaurants, as I mentioned, shops, as I mentioned. If you're into sporting events, there's the Carolina Panthers during football season. There's the Charlotte Hornets, which play out of the Spectrum Center. Back to the Bank of America Stadium where the Carolina Panthers play, they're going to have a professional soccer team starting up in 2022. At Truist Field, which is also in Uptown Charlotte, is our minor league baseball team, the Charlotte Knights. So there's a lot of things to do with if you're a sports fanatic, but there are also theaters for plays and Broadway plays. There are tons of museums, so there are a ton of things for you to do in Uptown Charlotte. So as far as the South Charlotte area, this is going to consist mainly of your Ballantyne and South Park areas. In these areas, you're in a more upscale area as far as homes go. Price ranges are going to be anywhere from $350,000 and can be well into the millions depending on which area you're looking at, what size homes you're looking at. So Ballantyne is actually very nicely located where you're only about 20 minutes from Uptown Charlotte. You're also only about 20 minutes from the airport. So very easy access to both of those by using 485, which is our highway that loops around the city of Charlotte. Things you may want to visit or look at when you're in the Ballantyne area is the beautiful Ballantyne Resort. There are the multi-use developments as well as plenty of shops and restaurants for you to visit. Now South Park is a little bit older of an area, but you have beautiful architecture there. You have beautiful oak trees that line the streets and sidewalks everywhere. So if you'd like to get outside and walk or run or bike ride, whatever, it is very accessible for you to do that. The South Park area is a very popular area for people who either work in the city or just really like to be near a city because you're only about 10 to 15 minutes away. This area is also very accessible to a couple of the major highways, Highway 85 and 77. And if you do have to get to the airport, you're only about 20 minutes away, depending on what part of South Park you're in. The next area I'm going to talk to you today about is Union County. Union County is a very large area spread out. So I'm just going to touch base on a few of the areas for you. Union County is on the eastern side of Charlotte and it's experienced a lot of growth. While living in Union County, you get to experience a little bit more space, but you might find yourself about 30 to 45 minutes from Uptown Charlotte and about the same distance to the airport. So depending on where you live, really not that far away from being to the city, but far enough out so if you do want that space I mentioned, you have it. Some of the different areas in Union County are Weddington, Marvin, Waxhaw. In these three areas, they're a little bit more upscale. For prices of homes, they're going to range anywhere from $350,000 and they could be anywhere up into the millions. If you're looking for something a little bit less in this area, they do have them. You just have to keep your eyes open for it. Indian Trail is another great town in Union County, and you'll find this is a little bit more rural area. Prices of homes can range anywhere from $200,000 and of course go higher depending on the area you're in, the style of home, and the amount of land that you're looking for. Another city I'd like to mention in Union County for you is Monroe. Monroe is a little bit older city. It has a great historic downtown area for you to visit. This area of Monroe does have the older homes, and homes can range anywhere from probably around $150,000 and up. There are local shops, restaurants, grocery stores, parks all throughout Union County. So depending on where you live in the county, you could be 5 minutes from these things. You could be up to 20 minutes away. If Union County might be an area you think you might be interested in, I am posting a video next week on the Waxhaw area that I just mentioned a little bit ago, so keep your eyes open for that. So up next is Cabarrus County. This includes some suburbs just north of Charlotte, and it does extend out into some country as well further past that. So some of the things for you to look at while you're in the Cabarrus area. If you're in Concord, you'll see the Concord Mills Mall. This is an outlet mall. Not far from there is the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Also in Concord, they hold 2 big races here every year. They're right next door to that is the ZMAX Dragway, which is a 4-lane drag strip. A couple other notable places for you to visit if you're up in this area. One is the PNC Music Pavilion, where there's tons of concerts that they put on throughout the summer specifically. And the University of North Carolina, Charlotte is probably 5-10 minutes from there. If you were to choose this area to live in and you're curious, how far does it take to the city? How far does it take to get to the airport? Well, the city is going to be anywhere probably from 30 to 45 minutes on average. If you live further out, it could take longer. And the airport is actually probably going to be about the same time frame, 30, 45 minutes on average. And a little bit further out that you live, obviously it's going to take a little longer. As for the style of homes and cost of homes up in this area, you could range from $150,000, and it could range, you could find some bigger homes anywhere up into the millions. So there's a very wide range of different style homes throughout Cabarrus area. So if you're curious on your research of what towns you might want to look for, I already mentioned Concord, Harrisburg. There's also Midland. You might want to look at Locust, Kannapolis. So there are a number of different places you may want to take a look at. If you go to the western suburbs of Charlotte, you will actually run into the Gaston County area. Gaston County is an area that is currently being revitalized, but you're going to find a lot of older homes and historic areas in this county. So Gaston County being a little bit further out from Charlotte and the city, you're going to have more outdoorsy things to do. So there's really close by to you, there's the U.S. National Whitewater Center, where they have trails that you can bike on and run on, like cross-country type trails, zip lining. They can do kayaking. They're actually, as the name would suggest, there's a whitewater park right there for you, so you can do some rafting, which is really neat. Also in the area is Crowder's Mountain. So if you're somebody who really enjoys being outdoors and going for a hike, doing some mountain biking, Crowder's Mountain is a fantastic place for you to go. If you're a garden lover, Daniel Steele Botanical Gardens is real close by as well. Great place to have a family outing. So brand new to the area is the Catawba Two Kings Casino. If you're into gaming, they obviously have that, and they plan on having lots of events there as well. On top of everything I just mentioned, you have the Scheele Museum of History, and of course you have plenty of shops and restaurants that you can frequent as well. So what are the homes like, right? So as I mentioned before, they are a little bit older down in Gaston County. You could probably find a home anywhere from $200,000 and up, depending on what part of town, of course, and the size and amount of land that you're on. So as you're doing your research on which towns in Gastonia might be a good fit for you, maybe take a look at Gastonia, Belmont, Mount Holly, Lowell, and Dallas. Those are just a few of the many that you can take a look at. I know this was a ton of information for you and a very broad overview of Charlotte and its surrounding areas, but hopefully it gives you some information that you need to narrow down that search for yourself. So as I mentioned earlier, I will get a little bit more specific on each one of these areas for you, so keep an eye out for future videos. As always, if you have questions, feel free to comment below. You can also give me a call or text me at any time, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.